Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, and today we are doing update number 6 for deck of panning. If you're new here, welcome. I will make sure to have my deck of panning and my project panning playlist linked down below. And I hope you'll stick around for this update and subscribe and like this video. But this project was put together and hosted by Emily and Max. She is also linked down in my description box, along with her intro video that kind of explains the premise of this project. But basically what we do is we have a deck of cards, and then there are prompts on a game board correlated to the different cards, and you pick a product in your collection to work on according to that prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cards out so that we're ready to go. Currently, I do have 6 items in this project, mainly because I am tacking on a no pan left behind prompt on this project. It is just a fun way for me to get use out of my eyeshadow palettes, and so I do have an extra prompt rolled into the collection. I anticipated this last update, but I only do have 2 rollouts, and those are my palettes. So let's go ahead and get into those 2 palettes so we can roll them out and so that we can draw some new cards. This video might be a quick one, but definitely stick around because I am super excited about picking new products to roll in. But the 2 eyeshadow palettes that I had rolled into this project, one of them was the Pat McGrath, and this is the Mothership 9 Utopian Dreams, and I have to be very careful with it because it's heavy, but this is what this color story looks like, and I picked this for a Black-owned makeup brand, and I did have the goal of a no pan left behind, and I was able to use every shade in here. If I can remember, I'll pop up my graphics that I'm keeping for my no pan left behind, but I did get use out of every shade in that palette. And then the other palette that I picked out was my Tati Beauty Volume 1, and this is what, it's a very big palette, but this is what the inside of this one is looking like. I did pick this for a nostalgic product, and so if you've been around on beauty YouTube for probably any amount of time, it's very nostalgic when Tati had her own makeup brand, and she only did release this one palette before she decided to close that brand down. I did do a no pan left behind on the Tati palette except for the glitters at the top. I'm just not one to wear the pressed glitters on my eyelids, so I just took those out of the equation, but every other shade in that palette I used. So I have my 2 rollouts, which are my 2 palettes. I'm looking in my monitor and I have big hair today, but I can't be bothered with it. It's like 92% humidity outside, and I'm going to go do yard work after I film this. I'm going to wash off all my makeup and go do yard work. So I don't even care what my hair looks like. So we're just rolling with it. But I do have 4 items that are staying in for a little bit longer. And so let's start with the 2, because I rolled these in on the same update, and so I ended up drawing, was it 2 or 3 updates ago? I ended up pulling both of the queen, like the black suited queens, and so both of those were long haul products. And so I had to roll in 2 things in my collection for a long haul. And one of the first ones that I did was the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and so this is like the Charlotte Tilbury dupe of it, but I have been keeping track of my progress. I'll pop up my picture with my comparison, but this down here is our new line. I do use this very consistently, so I basically do 2 dips and I mix it in with my foundation, so I'm getting really good progress off of this, but this I have 1 more month of use, because my goal was 3 months of use on this. That was enough of a long haul for me to track it. I mean, I'm using this every day, so I'm going to use it until it's, complete and done. But for this project, I did want to use it for 3 months and then roll it out. But overall, I'm getting really steady, great progress on this. I still love this product. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for one of those kind of like glowy products. Again, I don't use it as a highlighter on top of my skin. I strictly use it to mix in with my foundations, but this is something that we will get to see roll out next month, but I'm still super excited to be using it every day. The next long haul product is in this e.l.f. container, and this is my Franken blush. And I made very good progress on this because I hit pan at the bottom of this container. And so my goal for this was to use it 100 times, and I have used it 36 times out of 100, and I've already hit pan. So I'm really curious about what this will look like at the 100 use mark. And again, this is going to be in for quite a bit. I do my makeup anywhere from 22 to 25 times per month, so I am getting consistent use, but again, 100 uses on this will really put me over the edge with using up quite a bit of this Franken blush. And if you're new here and you're wondering what is a Franken blush, basically I took any lip products that I used up, like bullet lipsticks and things like that. I basically scrape out everything that's below the plastic and I put it into this container and I melt it down together to be a blush. And so that's what I use. I actually do have the the Flower Beauty Day Glow Highlighting Glaze or something like that. I actually do have the whole pan of that mixed into this blush as well to give it a little bit of a glow, mainly because that product looked like straight Vaseline on my face. I have oily skin, so that was not the type of product for me, but overall I do love the effect that it gives me with this blush. But to hit pan, and again I'll have my comparisons with my weight differences, but I'm making really great progress on this. Eventually I will have to remelt it and kind of like fill that pan back in, but still I'm really curious what this product is going to look like once I have reached those 100 uses. It's starting to sound like I'm losing my voice, and I have no idea why, because this whole weekend I have talked to like nobody. So there's no reason why I should be losing my voice. But let me look at my panning journal because I need my numbers for this next one. This was the last update. I pulled the Jack of Hearts, which was a random letter, and I pulled a B. And so that is, I picked my Becca highlighter. This is a mini in Moonstone. And so my goal was to use this one 30 times. And this was practically brand new, untouched whenever I first pulled it in. And now this is what we're looking like. Little bit of disturbance on the top, but again, maybe a little bit of dip in the middle where I'm maybe doing like my inner corner brush, but overall, I'm really happy about seeing this looked used because it looked brand new prior, but I do have 13 uses on this. I was really hoping to be at the halfway mark and have 15, but that just means what? I have to do 17 uses before I can roll this out. If I'm diligent over the next month, I do think that I can get the other 17 uses on this and get this rolled out and get some really good kind of use on this product because it's just been sitting in my collection since I purchased it when Becca was going out of business. But happy to get some use out of that. And then my last progress that we're going to go over is I drew the Three of Hearts, which was a product that already has pan. And so I did pick my Ofra blush in Chiclet, which was the collaboration with Samantha March. It used to be a split pan. I ended up not liking it as a split pan, so I ended up like crushing it up and mixing the two shades together. And I already had pan in it, and I'll have my comparison pop up, but this is what we're looking like right now. So hopefully you can see in the comparisons that I have expanded that pan in the middle, and I have used this blush 10 times already since last update. My goal is to use it 20 times total, so I have another 10 uses on this to go. I have not had a problem using this. I've been doing a lot of pinky looks. I've just been gravitating towards pinks in my palettes. And so popping this on gives a beautiful kind of pink, almost like a, I want to say like, it's not like a sunburn, but it is like a, I got a little bit too much sun, but I'm also bronzed type of look. That's what I get with this, and I absolutely love it. So I am happy to be expanding the pan on this one, and this is one of the blushes that I wanted to focus on kind of getting used up in my collection over the next year or so. So we might see this come back into some other projects, or we might see this in my project pan for next year. We'll see how I feel about that when we get to December. But that is the progress on the 2 cheek items that I rolled in last time. And now we get to roll in 2 new prompts. Hopefully one of those prompts I will be able to pick another palette from my collection to do a no pan left behind. Like I said, I really have been enjoying doing that prompt or working with that concept into this project. So let me go ahead. Like I said, I have my cards. I'm going to shuffle a few times and pull up the game board. I'm going to pop the game board up on the screen for you guys. Is my shuffling too loud? But mainly the face cards and the aces do not change. Those stay the same. We always have our joker in there, which is an Are You Joking product. That is something we really don't want to pan or like a ridiculous goal on it. And then all of the number cards get mixed up each update. So I might be able to draw, you know, the same card I had before, like a, what did I have? Like a 3 of hearts or something like that, but it'll be a different prompt this month. So let me shuffle one more time and then I'll cut the deck on camera. So I always cut the deck for you guys. And then we are drawing straight from the top. So our first card is, we have an 8 of spades, and that is a fragrance. Ooh. Okay. Okay. And we're going to do one more. And this one is the 7 of diamonds, and that is a seasonal. Okay. Ooh, I think I know what I'm going to do for that one. I think I'm going to pull my my no pan left behind for that. But let me go ahead and let me go pull a fragrance and let me go pull a palette, and I'll come back with my prompts. Alrighty, so I picked out my items, and so let's go with the 8 of spades is what I picked first, and that is a fragrance. And so I went ahead and I picked out my Machino. I never pronounce it right. I even have looked it up because, you know, I saw a TikTok where they were asking people to pronounce the brand and everybody was getting it wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's Chino instead of like, it's not like Machino cherries, but it's like Machino, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am. But this is my Toy 2 fragrance. I really do enjoy this. I had talked about this in my like reflecting on past purchases because I did purchase this last year at a TJ Maxx, and something about this just is very nostalgic to me, and it makes me think of my like early teen years. It's just so fresh and sweet, and I love it. But this is basically when I'm working from home, this is what I spray on myself every day. So as you can see, I am like all the way down to the bottom. So this is a little bit of a gimme product, but this is basically a full-size fragrance that I have been able to use, well, I will be able to use it up in about a year's time, which I think is actually really great. I want to pat myself on the back for that. But I really do love this. I have a mini of this as well, so once I'm done with this one, I'll start using my mini. But this is the fragrance that I want to go ahead and use up all the way. I'll have a picture up top, but even looking at the back of it, we're just right about there. So I have only a little bit left of this. I'm actually going to spray it on myself right now because, like I said, oh, there's just something about this that makes me think of my childhood. So this is the fragrance that I'm going to be focusing on. Then the other prompt that I got was seasonal, which was the 7 of diamonds. And I'm sure for this one, which let me look at the actual prompt and see what it says. I might interpret it a little bit different, but let me see what Emily actually has down. So seasonal, there's not any description next to it, so I'm going to just interpret it the way I want to. I'm not necessarily going with this season, which is summer, but I am going to go ahead and pick my Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. And of course, this is seasonal to the fall time. And this is actually a palette. Sorry, I'm gonna smell it, but it smells so good. But with this one, let me see if I can hold it up for you guys so you can see the color story. But this is what our color story is looking like. And with this palette, I do not have any uses on this palette yet this year that I've tracked. Now, I started tracking my usage on my palettes starting in March or April. I think it was March. So I could have used this palette prior to that, but I don't remember. But this palette gives me a clean slate for my no pan left behind, goal on this. So I need to use every single shade in this palette before I can roll it out as a prompt. And this will be one more palette that I can add, I can check off my list as having used every shade in it. I really do love this palette. I think the one they came out with last year, people were really disappointed with the quality of it. And then the Italian Spritz Too Faced palette, that is on my loves list. If it ever goes on sale, I will purchase it. Too Faced, whenever they do this tin packaging, typically it is a really good palette. So those are my items that I have. So we have one more month on the e.l.f. Halo Glow. We have a finish goal for my fragrance. We have a no pan left behind for the palette. And then we have 17 more uses on Becca, 10 more uses on this blush. And then my other long haul, my cream blush, I have 36 uses. So let me do the math in my head. So I have 64 more to go. It's at least 3 more months. So at least 3 more months with this one. But again, I'm happy to get use out of my Franken cream blush. But that is my update for Deck of Panning. A little bit shorter and sweeter, but definitely I'm excited about next month where I plan to have plenty of rollouts. So that means plenty of cards for us to draw in. I hope that you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all those things. Comment down below. Let me know if you're doing this project and what cards you drew this month. I really enjoy you guys watching my content and engaging with me down in the comment section. I love the conversations that we're having. You guys are the absolute best. I wish you guys a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next one.